Hello everyone, my name is Ivo and welcome to Cooking with the Koyas. Let's keep the pizza theme going. Last week I showed you my convenient pizza dough. A couple weeks before that, my top 4 pizza making tips. And if you haven't seen those episodes, I'll put a link in the description. But today, folks, we're gonna make a pan pizza, the traditional pan pizza. I'm gonna share with you how I make my version. So let's get started right now. And we're gonna start by, let's get our flour going. So I want a quick note about flour. I have here 375 grams of flour, and let me just explain. So for this recipe, you could use all-purpose flour, you could use 000 flour, you could use 100 flour. So the key is you want the protein level to be 13.2 ideally, plus or minus a bit. So this particular one is 13%. And I'm going with a 100 flour today. So for those of you who are not aware, a 00, 0, 1, and a 2, those are numbers that Italy uses for rating their flour. 00 is very fine, 100 is fine, 1 and 2 are coarser. So to put it in perspective, in North America, our all-purpose flour is about a number 1 in Italy. So I'm using a number 0 instead of the 00. So it's still gonna be finer than all-purpose flour. It's a nice high protein at 13%. It's gonna be good. Okay, so like I said, 375 grams of flour, which is about 13.2 ounces. And to that, I'm gonna add my secret ingredient, 1 teaspoon of Diastatic malt powder. You know I always use that when I make my pizzas and my breads. And that's about 4 grams. And we're gonna just mix that in with our flour. Okay, that part is done, very easy. Here now I have 265 grams of warm water, warm about 90 degrees. And that's about 9.3 ounces. Now to the water, we're gonna add the salt. Instead of adding the salt to the flour, we're gonna add our salt directly into the water. And I have 10 grams of salt, which is about 0.35 ounces. And what you're gonna wanna do is dissolve that salt completely in your water. So what this is going to do is gonna allow the salt distribution to be much more evenly throughout our pizza dough. And the other thing, it avoids that direct contact with the yeast and the salt. So a little bit of an advantage of doing it this way. So we're gonna add, our salt is now dissolved. To that, we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. I'm gonna put that right in the water as well. Okay, we'll mix that in. And then we're gonna use some instant yeast. I've got 1/8 of a teaspoon, that's all you need. 1/8 of a teaspoon, which is about 0.65 of a gram of instant yeast. Now we're gonna put that right in with our water mixture and just give it a stir. Okay, so now our water mixture is ready. Get myself a spatula. We're gonna get this mixed up. So we're gonna pour it right in. Okay, and now quite simply, we're gonna mix this together and start to form a dough. So yes, we're gonna get in there with our hands, but I like to get it started with a spatula, or a wooden spoon works fine too. But we wanna pick up all that flour. And once we have a shaggy dough, I can get in there with my hands. Okay, that's pretty good there, right there. Okay, so what I'll do now is I'm gonna get in here with our hands, and I'm gonna pick up all this flour and just kind of mix it in together by grabbing the dough and squeezing it, grabbing it and squeezing it. It's called the pincer method. So you grab and squeeze, pick up the flour, grab and squeeze. Okay, work your way around the bowl. That looks better now, doesn't it? Okay, so now we've got this very, very rough dough. And what you want to do now for the next 2 minutes, you want to get it all incorporated and smooth. So I'm just going to squeeze that dough in my hand like that and work my way all around the dough. Squeezing, squeezing, squeezing. And as you're doing that, everything is mixing really nicely. The dough is nice and warm thanks to that water. So I'm going to just continue to do this for about a minute or two. Okay, so I've gone actually the distance to 2 minutes, and yes, it's still very sticky, of course, and it's sticking to the bowl, but it doesn't remain stuck to the bowl. Okay, but at least we have now the beginning of a beautiful, beautiful dough. Okay, let me get it unstuck. That's better. Okay, so believe it or not, that was the hardest part of this recipe. So now that we have this beautiful, it's a beautiful soft dough. Okay, we're gonna let it sit. Now the only thing we have to do, you just count on when you make this dough, we need 1 hour. So it's gonna sit for 1 hour, but during that hour, every 20 minutes, we're gonna do a series of folds, and I'll show you. So let's let it sit for 20 minutes, and I'll come right back and we'll show you what we do next. Okay, it's been 20 minutes, and I should have mentioned too, if you don't want to use your hands to mix, of course you could use a dough mixer. I have a KitchenAid, but I rarely use it. I like to get my hands in there, but if you have a hard time kneading, then a dough mixer is a great alternative. Okay, so after 20 minutes of another very simple task, even simpler than the first one. I'm going to take it out of the bowl so I could show you. We're going to do a series of folds. So if you want, you could even wet your hand just a little bit. It helps prevent the dough from sticking. Or you could put a little olive oil on your hands. And all you want to do is just grab one end of the dough, lift it, stretch it, and fold it over to the other side. That's it. You can do the same thing on the other side. And then continue to do a series of folds. Oh, maybe about up to, so let's say 10. Just lift and fold, lift and fold, lift and fold. So we're going to develop the gluten network. Okay, it starts to develop it. We'll put our dough back, and we're going to give it another rest for another 20 minutes. So see how simple that was? And again, I got to clean my hands up. But 20-minute rest, and we're going to do another series of folds. Okay, you know the routine. Another 20 minutes have passed. Very nice. This dough is really, really soft with that flour. The 00 or the 100 flour really makes for a really, really nice dough. All right, I'll just damp my hands again just a little bit. And again, we're going to do a series of folds, lift and fold. You can see it's already starting to firm up compared to where it was last time. It's still sticky, but not, let's say, as sticky. Okay, and again, you're going to do another 10, 12 folds. Fold it right over. See, it's getting more strength. There we go. It's getting nice and strong and starting to firm up. So you can do more. You can do up to 20. I mean, you're not going to over fold and stretch at this point. So. And I've lost count, so I think I'm somewhere between 10 and 20. All right, so that's pretty good. There we go. And you can see already it's still sticking, but not as much as I had before. And it is starting to firm up. So again, we're going to put it right back in, cover it, and let it rest for another 20 minutes. Okay, it's been another 20 minutes, so let's do our last series of folds for now. So, same process. Out comes the dough. There we go. I'm just going to wet my hands just a little bit. And look at this already. See how it's firming up nicely? This time I'm going to count. 7, 8, 9, okay, there's 10. So I'm going to continue and do a little bit more, but you can see it's really firming up nice, and it's sticky, but again, not too bad. That's what happens when you do these folds. The dough starts to come together really, really nicely. Okay, I'll just do 2 or 3 more. 1, 2, all right, 3. There we go. Okay, so again, you can't overdo that. A little bit of extra virgin olive oil. I'm just going to put in here, and I'm just going to coat this container with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil just to prevent our dough from sticking. Okay. So now we're going to take our beautiful dough. Look at that. Is that coming nice already? Hell yeah. Just wait till tomorrow. And wait till tomorrow is exactly what we have to do. So, again, everything up till now has been easy. And tomorrow, even easier. So, in a container with a lid, we're going to leave it at room temperature. And now it's going to sit for 12 to 14 hours. It's going to do that beautiful slow fermentation, develop all those flavors and make our dough easily digestible. And it's going to grow and get double in size. So quite simply, I'm going to cover this, leave it at room temperature for 12 to 14 hours. And it'll be an overnight fermentation, of course. And tomorrow, you won't believe how easy it will be for our next step. So stay tuned. It's been about 12 hours. Let's check up on our dough that I've had sitting at room temperature, patiently waiting. Oh, look at that. It has risen very, very, very nicely. What a beautiful overnight rise. Oh, I love it. Okay, look at this beautiful pizza dough. So now, in continuing with that easy theme, we're going to take it out and we're going to do another series of folds, and it's going to get ready for its second rise. And the beauty with the second rise is we can wait 2 to 3 hours and make pizza, or we can put it in the refrigerator and let it rise there and use it sometime later today or even tomorrow for that matter. So we have options, folks. Look at this beautiful dough. Now it's still going to be sticky. So the hydration level that I use for my pan pizza is 70%. You can use a higher hydration for pan pizza because it's not as hard to handle because you're going to be working it in a pan as opposed to forming it and make a pizza. So it's just easier to handle in the pan pizza. And you get the higher hydration, which allows that pan pizza to rise and get those nice air pockets inside the entire pizza. So the hydration makes a difference in that regard. All right, so again, you know it's sticky, but nowhere near as sticky as before. Okay, so we're going to do a series of folds. Okay, yeah, anywhere from 4 to 10. That's fine. Okay, and then I'm just going to shape it into a round by pulling it towards me. Okay, and now that's it. This dough is now ready. Look at this beautiful dough. That's ready for the second rise. So I'm going to put it in a container and with the lid on, we're going to let it. Okay, now again, at this point, I have the option. I could put it in the refrigerator, use it later or tomorrow, or leave it on the counter, cover it, and use it anywhere within 2 to 3 hours. And of course, I think you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to use it within 2 to 3 hours. We already have the benefit of the overnight fermentation, so I'm going to let it sit for a couple hours, and we're going to bake some pizza. So it's been a couple hours. Let's take a look at our beautiful dough. Oh yeah, second fermentation. Very, very nicely. Very, very nice. Okay, let's have some fun. All right, so I have a 10 by 15 inch cookie sheet. Now, you could use a little bit bigger or you could use a little bit smaller. But I'm using 10 by 15. If you use a bigger one, your pizza is going to be thinner. You use a smaller one, it's going to be thicker. With the 10 by 15, it's already going to be thick enough. So a little bit of extra virgin olive oil on the bottom. Let's take out our beautiful dough. Look at this. Oh my goodness. It's as soft as a pillow. Look at that. Seriously. Okay. A little bit of olive oil on my fingers. All right. And now let's start to just gently press and shape our dough. So just kind of keep working it. Just keep working it until we stretch it out to the size of our pan. And while I'm doing that, another method I like to do is just push down gently with your hands, and it kind of flattens it out a little bit, but yet it doesn't impact the aeration of our dough. You can lift and stretch it as well. Okay, I'm gonna say that's looking pretty good right there. Okay. Yes. All right. So, a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. You can see there's already some on the dough from my hands, but we're gonna add a little bit more. Just brush that on. There we go. I like that. Okay, and now that we have our olive oil on, we're going to add a little bit of my homemade sauce. Spread that around. Beautiful. All right. So, a little bit of our nice tomato sauce. Get that spread around. If you're wondering how I make this, I'll put a link in the description for you. This is a beautiful, beautiful pizza sauce. And I got to tell you, that dough, wow. The feeling of the dough, it's beautiful. Just beautiful. All right. So this pizza is going to be a little bit thick, but that's okay. All right, that's enough sauce. I have here some hot peppers. I like to add a little hot pepper, so I'm going to add it now. I'm going to put it under the cheese this time. Okay, I do like a little bit of a bite to my pizza. And since the grandkids aren't here, I can do that. Nice little heat. Perfect. All right, now let's add a little bit of mozzarella cheese that I just grated, freshly grated. I just love making pizzas. Okay. And the pan pizza is what I grew up with, right? That's how my mother used to make pizzas, always in the pan. And maybe just a tad bit more. Right there. Okay. How's that looking? All right, so now what I have here, I have some mushroom, and what I did is I lightly sauteed the mushrooms, and then I cut them and chopped them up into little bits. So this way I get mushroom flavor throughout the entire pizza, as opposed to putting, larger slices on raw. Now I do that as well, but my preference is to lightly saute and dice. Amazing flavor. Otherwise, I like to use even a mushroom bruschetta. Okay, and now I've got some Calabrese olives that I de-pitted myself. Just with a knife, I just cut off the olive, because this is going to add even a nicer flavor as opposed to the brined olives. Okay. That looks good. And now last but not least, I'm going to top with a little bit of pepperoni. And our oven has been preheating at 500 degrees. So the oven is ready to go. So all I have to do is finish dressing this beautiful pizza. Okay. And a few more here. And we're good to go. Okay. And one and two more. There we go. How's that? Let's make our way over to the oven. So we're gonna want a good 18 to 20 minutes in the oven. I got the rack about in the middle, and we're gonna, like I say, we're gonna let it sit for 18 to 20 minutes. I'll take a look at 18, we'll see how it's doing, and we'll go from there. 18 minutes, time to take a peek. Oh yeah, that's looking really, really good. I'm gonna let it go the full 20 minutes just to get a little more color on it. So we've gone the full distance, 20 minutes. Let's turn our oven off. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there. Now you're talking, that's the color I want. Take a look at this pizza. Look how beautiful that pan pizza is right there. Nice color to it. And you know what? We're gonna make it look even a little nicer. Come with me. Okay, first things first, let's take a peek at the bottom. I know it's gonna be hot. Let's see if we could take a quick peek. Oh, look at that. I hope you can see that. Oh, it's hot, hot, hot. All right, this is how we're gonna make it look a little better and even taste a little better. I like to put a little bit of extra virgin olive oil on my crust. There we go. Just a little bit, like that. Now, that is looking much, much better. And now you know what I need to do. I am looking forward to cutting into this pan pizza. And of course you could drizzle a little olive oil on top if you like. Never hurts. Okay, gonna let this cool slightly, but guess what, folks? It's gonna go over, make my way to the table, and we're gonna dig in. So here I am. I've already done the taste test. Yes, I ended up pushing the picture mode on my camera instead of filming mode. So all I got was this picture of me sitting here at the table with the pizza. But I did get a nice picture of the pizza before I cut into it. So the good news is though, I get to do another taste test. And what's wrong with that? So I'm gonna start with, I like the end pieces, the corner pieces. So I'm just gonna cut myself another piece. Now, I already did the taste test, so I already know how, oh, that's hot. This is gonna taste. Whew, that's a little warm. But I do like my pizza hot. I know Laura, she can eat pizza, take it right out of the fridge and eat it. Not me. I won't microwave it, but I'll put it in the toaster oven and heat it up. That's how I like to have my pizza. Wow, this is, the aeration on this pizza, on this dough is beautiful. We got nice air pockets, a nice high dough. It's light, it's airy. It's delicious. Just as good second time around. It's got that perfect balance between crispness of the crust and a nice soft, well-cooked interior. And I think you saw the bottom, but I'll show you again. The bottom color is just beautiful. Nice and golden brown. What a fantastic dough recipe. You saw how easy it was. You make the dough. The first hour you do some folds, let it sit overnight. The next day you get up, do some folds. 2 hours later, you're making pizza. And the dough is fantastic. Pan pizza, the traditional way of making pizza. Get yourself a nice sheet pan, start mixing some dough and having some fun. Wherever you're tuning in from, I want to thank you for spending time in the kitchen with me and giving me the opportunity to do 2 taste tests. And until next time, bon appetito and salud. This pizza is really good. Beautiful.